안녕하십니까? 저는 RDB Language의 데이지 선생님입니다. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will be learning on how to study Korean language effectively. So we're going to discuss 8 tips on how to study Korean language more effectively. So why study Korean language? With more than 7,000 living languages spoken today, many language learners chose only among a few. But right now, it could be well worth it to learn Korean language. Knowing how to speak Korean language could be an asset, as it could open doors to many opportunities. So let us learn the 8 tips. Number 1. Master the Hangeul. The official writing system of Korea, known as Hangeul, was logically and scientifically invented by King Sejong the Great in 1443 to write the Korean language. Knowing the Korean alphabet is fundamental for reading Korean. In the beginning, you may find it easier to use the Romanized alphabet, but you'll quickly realize that this isn't sustainable. The quicker you learn Korean alphabet, the more comfortable and more effective your learning experience will be. Number 2. Enroll a course. While many people chose to self-study, there are still many institutions who still realize the benefits of maintaining group teachings, either in classroom or online classes. These are the advantages of learning in a group. Number 1. Students gain better understanding and helps to learn fast. Number 2. Students gain team experience and removes boredom. Number 3. It motivates students to study. And finally, number 4. It motivates and inspires one another. Tip number 3. Build your vocabulary. Here's how to improve your Korean vocabulary. Here's how to improve your Korean vocabulary. Number 1. Word lists and flashcards are the most widely used vocabulary learning methods. Either make a 2-column table with Korean words in one column and their meanings in the other. Or make flashcards with Korean words on one side and their meanings on the other. Review these words regularly and mark the words that you still haven't learned completely. While reviewing gives special attention to these marked or difficult words, with time, these difficult words will also go to your permanent memory and then you can unmark them. Even if you think you have completely learned a list, it's better to review it once in a while. Make a separate list of difficult words you often forget and review it more frequently. You can also consider making your own personal dictionary, a dictionary of words that are important to you. Number 2. Learn related words. In this example, we can see that there are few examples of related words. For example, number 1, 화장실. 화장실 is a word that means restroom. Next is 화장품. 화장품 is cosmetic. And finally, number 3, 화장지. 화장지 is tissue. So if we notice, these words has the same 2 syllables. It starts with the word 화장. So it's very easy for you to memorize since these words are almost related to each other. The next one is 산. 산 is mountain. Next is 산불. 산불 means wildfire. Next is 산수. 산수 is oxygen. Next is 산업. 산업 is industry. And finally, 산책. 산책 means strolling. So again, it has the same word 산. So again, these words are related to each other, so it's very easy to memorize and to familiarize. And finally, number 3, mix words with mother tongue. So for example, that flower is 예뻐. Okay, 예뻐 means pretty. So eventually it means that flower is pretty. So by putting Korean vocabulary at the end, or putting vocabulary and your noun or your verbs, it's easier for you to remember because you apply this in your everyday example. Next tip, number 4. Discover learning methods that works for you. Learning styles and preferences take on a variety of form, and not all people fit neatly into one category. This being said, most learners align with the following method. The first is visual learners. Visual learners are someone with a preference for visual learning, to seeing and observing things, including pictures, diagrams, written directions, and more. Next is auditory learners. These students would much rather listen to a lecture than read written notes. The next one is kinesthetic learners. These students learn through experiencing or doing things. And the last is reading and writing learnings. These students prefer to learn through written words, writing diaries, and looking up the dictionaries. So you must know what is your learning method that works efficiently for you. So in that case, you will know how are you going to learn more or fill in your vocabulary. Next, number 5. Make learning fun for you. As an industrializing economy, South Korea offers many opportunities for employment. South Korea is one of the most technically advanced and digitally linked countries in the world. So while you are learning Hangeul, the Korean language, imagine what opportunities you can get when you pass the EPS-Topik Exam and work in Korea. Next, number 6. Watch K-dramas and listen to K-pop songs. Why learn K-drama with subtitles? There are some factors that we need to consider. Number 1. Not only it is fun to watch, but it is also incredibly easy. Number 2. You'll be learning vocabulary as it used in certain scenarios. So you'll increase your understanding of the what, when, and how of Korean language. Number 3. It offers multisensory and interactive experience where you'll be triggering your reading, watching, and listening abilities. And finally, number 4, you learn the authentic aspects of the Korean language and the culture. Next is meditate. Meditation doesn't just reduce stress and make you a more spiritual person. It changes your brain in a variety of ways that can make it easier to learn new information. One study that was published by a reputable cognition journal indicates that meditating for 20 minutes a day boosts your memory and concentration. Last one, review. Here are the keys to help you review. Number 1, sort out your schedule. You can actually spend less time studying if you start with a great game plan. Make a list of the topics you need to and how much time you need to study each day. Number 2, be consistent. Always follow your study plan. Eventually, it will become a habit. Number 3, gather all the previous class notes, handouts, and worksheets. And lastly, number 4, study smarter. You have to remember that it's proper sleep that turns your short-term memory into long-term memory. We hope that these tips will be applied to your studies and you have fun learning Korean language. Please like our page in Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. If you want a certain lesson to be uploaded, please leave a comment below. We love to hear from you. Thank you very much. 다음에 또 다시 만나요. 안녕히 계세요. 감사합니다.